This episode of Android Authority is brought to you by Domain.com. That's right, we have some good news regarding the LG Nexus, exclusive to Android Authority, or shall I say, the LG Nexus X. A source close to the matter has revealed to us details about Google's and LG's plans for the next generation of the Nexus 5 smartphone. The source warned us that this information is not final, and as such, official details may differ as time goes on. But we feel very confident in the veracity of this report. Our sources confirmed that the new Nexus will be made available in the Google Play Store September 29th. Both the LG Nexus and the Huawei Nexus will be offered on this date. This confirms a recent report from CNET, as well as an older rumor from Korean media. The LG Nexus will probably go under the Nexus 5X moniker. We say probably because the decision on the final name has not yet been done at Google HQ. The name makes a lot of sense, however. It allows Google to keep its Nexus naming convention while signaling that this is a new device in a much more intuitive fashion than by adding a 2015 or second generation suffix. Perhaps the most important detail we glean from our source is the price of the Nexus 5X. The device will be affordable, but not as affordable as the original Nexus 5. The Nexus 5X will cost $50 more than the Nexus 5, according to our source. That means we can expect a starting point of $399 US for the 16GB model and $449 for the 32GB model, assuming Google has decided to stick with the 16GB for the base version. So what do you guys think of that? The Nexus 5X. Curious. Now I'm going to report on Google's new logo, and it's not just about new fonts and colors. Google recently announced, and I quote, "Today we're introducing a new logo and identity family that reflects a new reality and shows you when Google's magic is working for you, even on the tiniest of screens. As you'll see, we've taken the Google logo and branding, which were originally built for a single desktop browser page, and updated them for a world of seamless computing across an endless number of devices and different kinds of inputs, such as a tap, type, and talk." It doesn't simply tell you that you're using Google, but also shows you how Google is working for you. For example, new elements like a colorful Google mic help you identify and interact with Google whether you're talking, tapping, or typing. Meanwhile, we're bidding adieu to the little blue G icon and replacing it with a 4-color G that matches the logo. So in my opinion, this isn't just about redesigning for a mobile-first strategy, but really allowing users to know when they are using Google and not other types of products. Now, although Josh and Lon will have a lot more to say about the Samsung Gear S2 and S2 Classic, let's cover briefly what we know so far. Both models of the Gear 2 feature the same specs, including a dual-core 1 GHz processor, a 1.2-inch circular display with a resolution of 360 by 360, 512 megabytes of RAM, 4 gigabytes of storage, an IP68 dust and water resistance rating, and a Bluetooth 4.0, NFC for mobile payments, and a variety of sensors such as an accelerometer, gyroscope, heart rate monitor, ambient light, and a barometer. Samsung says the 250 mAh battery will last about 2 to 3 days and will recharge using wireless technology. As for the controls, the Gear S2 offers a rotating bezel, as well as a home and back button for easily dealing with notifications. Now, as you'd expect, the Gear S2 runs on Tizen, and that means you won't have the large library of Android Wear apps. But Samsung says they have a number of built-in apps ready to go and are working with developers to quickly expand their app library. Judging by their past watches, it's likely that the Gear S2 will only be compatible with select number of Samsung devices. With the Android Wear branching out into iOS territory, it's possible Samsung will broaden the support this time around to better keep up with the competition. Now let's talk about an intriguing new kid on the block. It's called Nextbit Robin. Of course, the Nextbit Robin isn't actually expected to ship to its first backers until January or February of 2016, but thankfully, we were able to get a little time with a non-working prototype here at IFA 2015. Though Nextbit borrows familiar concepts like dual-firing front-facing speakers, it manages to do so with a brand new design language that certainly looks like nothing else we've seen in the market today. But what about the specs? Nextbit promises a mid to high range experience backed by a hexa-core Snapdragon 808 system on a chip, with 3 GB of RAM, 32 GB of internal storage. Other specs include a 5.2-inch 1080p display, a 13-megapixel rear camera, a 5-megapixel front camera, and a 2,670 mAh battery. Sadly, the phone offers no microSD card slot for expansion, but instead promises a unique cloud syncing experience with 100 gigabytes free storage for life. Unlike typical cloud backup, this system is smart, at least claims to be, and knows when to push off apps and pics you haven't used or looked at for a while. Need to access them again? Well, Nextbit claims they can re-download the information from their own servers when you need it. Now, this can only be good news because this market needs more competition. What do you think? Would you get a Nextbit Robin? Now, I read the comments. I get it. I'm listening. I really do. And some of you say, what's up with all the .com domain names? What's wrong with .net or .org? Good question. A .com is like downtown harborfront real estate. It's premium real estate. Because no domain name extension tells your story with the same level of trust as a .com or .net domain name. .com and .net domain name extensions inject credibility into your online presence. And who doesn't want more credibility? You can save 15% on domain name and web hostings when you use our coupon code ANDROID at domain.com checkout. Don't forget, 15% off when you use our coupon code ANDROID. When you think domain names, think domain.com. Thanks for watching, Android Army. My name is Jayce. Love to connect with you on Google Plus or Twitter right here, and I will follow you in the comments below. You don't want to forget about my brothers and sister in Android. We're working super hard to be your source for all things Android.